What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is Sunday here. We're about to get a critical candle close for Bitcoin on both the daily and the weekly. So we are going to be taking a look into what is going on for Bitcoin, what some key levels are for some upside targets as well as downside targets, which I am paying more attention to because I'm going to be sharing with you guys my opinion on the overall markets after the crash that we just had in the past couple of days. Now, before I begin today, if you guys don't already have a Webull account but want to get some free stocks, you guys can use my referral link down below. They're still giving away free stocks, giving value from $3,000 to $3,000 once you guys open an account and deposit 100 US dollars. Terms and conditions do apply. I did enjoy using Webull as a beginner's exchange for both trading crypto and US stocks, but with any exchange, I would not leave all or most of my money on any particular exchange. I would definitely spread my money around several exchanges after seeing some that has gone down in the past year. So something I'm personally doing. Now, lastly, none of this is financial advice. I am not an elite trader of any sort, even though I am a trader who's profitable and managed to keep most of my profits in the last bear markets. We could still be in the bear market right now, but I am looking to crush it in the next bull market. And if you guys feel the same way, do subscribe, hit that like button for me. Now let's get right into the charts here. So we're going to take a look into the Bitcoin chart. I think that is the single most important chart to be paying attention to right now because it is the driver for the crypto markets. So I'm not going to be taking a look into Ethereum or XRP today as I usually do. I could potentially look into the S&P 500 chart futures because on the higher time frames, on the monthly, there could be still very strong correlation between the two charts. So I might look into that, seeing if the time allows. But right now, currently, Bitcoin on this weekly time frame, not looking too good because as I've been mentioning after that crash that happened earlier this week, I am looking for the price action to ideally close back above the weekly 200 SMA. That would be very ideal scenario, right? Which is the 200 simple moving average here, currently at about 27.4, I would say. So quite a bit of way to go. Is it impossible? No, it's not impossible. I have definitely seen some pretty good price action on Sundays, but not very common. So, I would not put my money on it. That is just my opinion, right? But there could be a miracle. There's something, definitely wouldn't count it out, but we do have about 6 hours left. Let's see if we can even close anything, near that, right? Above it would be very ideal. The next more ideal or the next more preferred bullish case scenario would be if the price action can at least get if you get a daily candle close above the daily 200 SMA, that would basically put us back, pretty close to the weekly 200 SMA anyways, because they're currently both sitting at about 27.3, 27.4. So in that range. So both the weekly and the daily chart today is going to be, pretty synonymous. So let's see if Bitcoin can actually pull off a pretty good bullish scenario here, right? So something to be keeping track of. Like I said, it is not impossible, but very, I don't see that too often. Okay. Now let's take a look into the weekly time frame. I'm gonna do a bit of a recap here because since this move this week, this basically like almost killed this entire chart, almost, right? If it was not for this move, then it looks like we were still going up for a cup and handle, right? With the neckline to be about 32K. But since this move, it has changed almost like the entire landscape here. That is why, continuing to monitor the charts and what's going on in this market is very important, because you can have something that just comes out of the blue and it basically blows everything up. And in this case, it's a very high possibility that um if this move continues to play out, this cup and handle pattern, in my opinion, it's pretty much, I would say it's highly likely done. Okay, nothing is 100% in this market. Gotta constantly monitor what's going on in this market so we can, just rechart what's going on. So that's what I'm looking at. Could we still pull off this cup and handle pattern? It is still a possibility, but not, I wouldn't say it's in the high likelihood, right? So if we are not able to get anywhere close to a candle close near the 200 SMAs for both the weekly and the daily, I will at least be looking for a higher low here, right? For the weekly candle close. If we actually close higher than 26K, I would say, because that's the previous low here, about 26K, then that will at least give me a little bit of an indication that we're still getting a higher low here. Not as good of a close as a candle close near the 27.3 area, but above 26K, maybe looking for about 26.5, then that's still a pretty good looking higher low. Then potentially we could still avoid what it looks like to be a double top here on this weekly time frame, which I talked about yesterday, and basically that has it's very much formed since this crash here, right? If we get a higher low, then potentially we could avoid this double top. However, in the worst case scenario, if the price action closes at about 20, I would just say 26K, then we do have a confirmed double top. And if the price action starts waking down below 25K, I would say, even on the daily time frame, because if we switch over to the daily time frame here, a wick below 24.8, that would tell me that it's starting to break down, and the measure move for this double top pattern here is going to be about 17.3K. Now, measure moves are estimates only. It may not get there. It probably won't get there very quickly. It might take some time to get there, very likely, right? So that's the measure move. It could take time to play out, but it might not get there entirely. It could also surpass it. So that's just an estimate. Do your own research on measure moves. Because that is a widely used trading term, right? So it's not, just don't take my word for it. Go and do your own research. So I told you guys that I am still long in this market. I have bought Bitcoin and Ethereum back when it looked like it was gonna break out at about that 32K area, slightly under, right? So basically, I am sitting in losses, but I am standing by to pull the plug if this pattern starts to look like it's going to break down, right? So I just gotta flip my opinion when the chart is starting to look different. That is the mentality of trading. And that is what I'm doing. That's not financial advice. That's just what I'm doing specific to my situation. Do your own research and homework, because you're responsible for your own money, regardless if you make a profit or a loss, right? So that's basically what I'm looking at. My opinion on this market is still, well, it's gonna change. It's gonna, change within the next 6 hours, 5 hours. So, if we break this 25K area, then it's starting to look like it's gonna be pretty bearish in the short term, at least. We do have the weekly 50 SMA, just last note out there, at about 24K right now. That could be acting as support. It could probably provide a bounce, but a bounce is not necessarily a rebound for a continuation upwards. It's just an area where I would expect buyers to come in, and you might get a little bit of a bounce, but not necessarily a continuation upwards. It could be a bounce before another drop, right? So that is where looking at the charts from a higher time frame is important, but also consistently monitoring what's going on the lower time frames, the hourly, 4-hour, 6-hour, 12-hour comes into play to tell me if this bounce is going to be more likely carrying the price upwards, or would it be a bounce and break down for another breakdown, right? Let's take a look into the S&P 500 chart, since it is going to open within the next couple of hours. This is the futures for S&P 500. The symbol is ES1 exclamation mark. I did bring up that on the monthly time frame here, that there could be a double top pattern, right? So, given the strong correlation of with the stock market, the S&P 500, to crypto, at least on a higher time frame, this is not something to be ignored, and this is a potential a double top here again on this monthly time frame, right? Could we be getting more correlation on the daily time frame? I'm not really sure. I just know that on the monthly time frame, we do have some pretty strong correlation. So that is something I am monitoring, and will be bringing you guys for updates on my next couple of posts, or regularly, right? Another thing I want to point out is it is possible that you get a breakdown. Well, because anything is possible in this market, right? It's just you gotta just look at the data, look at the candles, and be able to react. You could get fake outs. So also be prepared if you're a trader to jump back in if you're opportunistic, right? So it could break down, but it could be a fake out, right, of this breakdown, and they could possibly get a huge candle back up here. So that's also another scenario. There could be fake outs, and also be able to recognize that and jump and reopen positions going back the other way, if you guys know what I'm saying. If you guys don't know, then disregard it. It's gonna be it's not something that you should consider, right? Now this basically wraps up my update for today. I hope you guys are having a good day and found something out of this. If you guys did, give me a thumbs up, like, and I will see you guys next time.